Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning. Welcome once again to our online Kahului Hongwanji Sunday service. So today is August 2nd, 2020. Another month has gone by. We're still not finished with the coronavirus pandemic. We don't know how long this is going to last. So for the time being, we're still here only online. We hope in the not too distant future to be back to our some kind of in-person Sunday service, but we'll just have to take it week by week until we see how things go. So this morning is just a regular Sunday. We're here to express our gratitude to the Buddha for the wonderful benevolence and kindness we're always receiving in our life. We're here to listen to the Dharma. We're here to reflect. So today's service will begin with the Vandana and Tisarana, and we will continue with this chanting of Gasho to Amida. Gasho to Amida is a kind of a modern composed sutra. Kind of really, it's more like a hymn or a gatha. It's a poem but we chant it like a sutra, and it is really very meaningful. So I think it's very good for us to chant that, to listen to the words. Following that, we will have the Golden Chain of Love, and then Dharma message. That's a time for all of us to reflect and think about the Dharma, the teaching that as it affects our lives, and as it kind of guides us and helps us to understand ourself and our relationship with others and with the world. Following the Dharma message, we will have the loving kindness meditation, or metta, and this is just another way for us to reflect and to kind of think about the meaning of the Amida's great compassionate vow to save all beings. Well, we're part of that. You know, we're limited beings, but we too have a wish for the well-being of ourselves and others, and so we need to reflect on that and think about what that means in the bigger picture, I think. And we will conclude then with the Nembutsu, the singing of Namo Amida Butsu. And then I'll just have a few more closing words for you. Okay? So let's begin our service now. As always, we like to begin our service with our hands together in Gasho, and just have a moment of reflection and recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo Amida Butsu.
For guidance,
Sweet joy and gratitude, I gasho to Amida. Trees and grasses and flowers all grow in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I gasho to Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I gasho to Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. I join them in Nembutsu. I gasho to Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I gasho to Amida. When I'm lonely, I recite Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. I gasho to Amida. Nembutsu in work and play. Every day with Amida. Every moment filled with light. I gasho to Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I gasho to Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, I gasho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I gasho to Amida. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo Amidas. Namo Amidas. Namanda, Namanda, Namandas. Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Please join me with your hands together in Gasho. These are the words of Shinran Shonin. Signs of long years of saying the Nembutsu and aspiring for birth can be seen in the change in the heart that had been bad and in the deep warmth for friends and fellow practicers. This is the sign of rejecting the world. You should understand this fully. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning again. Let's see here. Just like to share a few words, a few thoughts about the Buddhist teaching with you at this time. So you know, our tradition, our Shin Buddhist tradition, or Jodo Shinshu, gives us a very unique perspective on the meaning of our ordinary life, our everyday life. Though, like all other Buddhist traditions, we observe what might be called practices, special commemorations, chanting of sutras, memorial services, funerals, and so on, we realize that we don't actually need any of these to further us on our path, because we have the Nembutsu to call us to mindfulness, to awakening of the preciousness of each moment of our living. Living the life of Nembutsu means that we are always reminded of the great compassion which is at the root of our life, root of everything around us. For the person of Nembutsu, nothing else is needed. When we perform any kind of a spiritual activity, whether it's a service or chanting or whatever, offering incense and so on, the importance of that is only in that it reminds us of the significance and the importance of everything we do in our life, each and every day, and it offers to us an opportunity to respond gratefully to the gift of life we are always receiving. Of course, it's not always easy to appreciate life, because life is often very difficult, and so these rituals and so on can kind of help us to sort of keep us focused. In the life of Namo Amida Butsu, we become imbued with the spirit of Namo, the spirit of letting go, the spirit of bowing. Namo means to bow in ancient Indian language, bowing. This is the humble spirit that's always seeking to learn, seeking to appreciate and understand. It wakes us up. The spirit of Namo always wakes us up and returns us to the jewel-like preciousness of each moment of the life we are living. And so our life is continually filled with warmth, joy, gratitude, and love, along with, of course, all the pain and anxiety and trouble of life, right? But we are imbued by this warmth and this light. Shinran said this in the words that I recited at the beginning. He referred to this. Signs of long years of saying the Nembutsu and aspiring for birth can be seen in the change in the heart that had been bad, and in the deep warmth for friends and fellow practicers. This is the sign of rejecting the world. You should understand this fully. One of the words that Shinran used in his teachings to express the idea of bowing, or namo, is the Japanese word kimyo, which means to trust or to take refuge. But it can also mean to return, and also to obey, to hear the call. To obey the call of Amida's great compassion is really to return ourselves to who we really are. To give ourself to that world where we can trust and feel that we have reached the place of refuge, the place of warmth and love. If we look at the natural world, which we humans are a part of, fully a part of, it seems to be largely a very harsh reality. People often say that. Nature is very hard, nature's harsh. Nature is, of course, based on the natural way. Natural life is based on living beings having to kill each other and eat each other, right? So it seems very cruel. That's life. We do the same thing. We're part of that. Everything we eat is a living being that has been killed. We didn't do it ourselves maybe, but on our behalf. Many people get the idea from looking at nature that love and compassion are just human ideas, just figments of the human imagination, and have no basis in reality. But actually, though we often have to look closely, there is real evidence of kindness and love among even the least sophisticated creatures in nature. There is a sense of balance in the natural world, a lack of calculation and greed, an unconscious awareness of the oneness of life. But the important question we might ask is, what is the source of this rare capacity that some beings have, maybe especially humans, to appreciate the preciousness and beauty of life and to appreciate one another? When you observe animals closer to us, like mammals and birds and so on, you don't need a lot of proof to experience the warmth and love that they exude, their unselfish spirit. Those of us who have had beloved pets in our lives, really, they're really family members. We use that word pets, but we don't really own them. They are part of our lives. They are beloved family members. We know that these animals themselves experience this warmth and joy that we are talking about. We know it from our experience. When we relate to them, we can feel ourselves return to that world of oneness and stillness, that place of refuge. They say that there's scientific evidence that when you have a pet like a dog or a cat, and those animals often interacting with our pets will keep your blood pressure lower, and create calmness. So there's been experiments about that. So yes, there's something real about that. When we relate to other living beings, especially in our lives, not just humans, we find ourselves returning to a kind of a quietness and stillness inside. That's, I think, very important. Very important to realize that. There's a common belief that humans have that all beings, including humans, are naturally selfish, and that generosity and compassion are merely learned traits, a thin veneer covering that over our self-centered nature. Like the underneath there's this savage nature. That's an old idea that people have had. But a number of years ago, I read a book by a psychologist, Alison Gopnik, which was called The Philosophical Baby, which is kind of an interesting title in itself. The Philosophical Baby. And in this book, the author studied the behavior of babies, and she came to the conclusion that babies not only possess a complex and active consciousness, but are naturally and innately altruistic. So even before they have learned the behavior of being kind and so on, they are innately altruistic. They innately care for others, want to help others. So at a very early age, they have a sense of others. They're aware of others, and they have a desire to make others happy. So in one experiment that she details in this book, Dr. Gopnik talks about babies who were exposed to researchers. They were interacting with researchers who would express to the babies, a great disgust for crackers. Babies like crackers, and the researchers would make a face, no, I don't like the cracker. But they would have a joyful enthusiasm for broccoli. Oh, I love broccoli, Now, no matter what the babies themselves preferred, the 18-month-old subjects in this experiment invariably would offer the researchers, the ones who pretended that the great love for broccoli, with their preferred food. So it seems that as though, seems as though we humans are born with an innate sense of others, a wish to make others happy. Unfortunately, this desire is often buried under the influence of our experiences, and as we grow and so on, and then we need to painfully reacquire that inner sense of others, that innate wish for the happiness of others. So what this is saying is that, that we already have that. Then we kind of cover it over with all the things because of the experiences and what we learn and what people tell us, everything that happens to us. And then we have to, kind of say, wait a minute, I got to go back to that original self, that original reality. So this research that Dr. Gopnik was talking about underscores the Shin Buddhist understanding of the reality of Amida Buddha's great compassionate vow. It demonstrates that warmth, kindness, and love is something fundamental to our very being, but which we forget, or we tend to forget as we become selfish and isolated by our growing attachments and anxieties, our experiences that teach us to hide, to cover ourselves up, protect ourselves, and so on. And thus, we have to relearn trust. We have to relearn to take refuge, to allow ourselves to be cared for and embraced and guided and helped. Amida's vow, Namo Amida Butsu, invites us to return to that original compassion and love, to open ourselves up, and to give ourselves back to the oneness of life. Namo Amida Butsu, which Shinran also called Amida's name, is not a formula by which we call upon the Buddha to save us. It's not a magic, not magic words or anything like that. Shinran taught us that it is the Buddha calling upon us to follow our true path back to the place we really belong, the place we started from. So, the Nembutsu actually expresses the journey of life itself. Our Namo, our bowing, is truly a return to our original self, the self we were before we learned to be selfish, but with the difference that we are now aware of our selfish nature and our capacity for causing harm, and we are conscious of our true condition as receivers of life, and so we can appreciate our precious life every moment completely and fully. So we are, I would say also that we are, when we say Namo Amida Butsu, this is a very important thing. We understand eventually that we're not saying Namo Amida Butsu to the Buddha, asking him or her for something. We are being called. Just let go, just bow, and be embraced by boundless life. So who is Amida? What is Amida? What is this calling, this Amida who calls us to bow and to return? When we look at the beautiful statue of Amida on our temple altar, like over there, we might think that Amida is a wonderful, loving being who happens to be named Amida. But actually, the word Amida means boundless life, measureless life. It means infinite compassion. It means inconceivable wisdom. So Amida is not someone who is not somebody named boundless life or infinite compassion or wisdom or something like that. Actually, Amida is boundless life. Amida is the reality that always supports and sustains us, whether we know it or not. Amida is everyone who helps and benefits me in my life. Amida is everything by which I can learn and grow. Amida is the life that embraces every being without exception. Amida is the life that we are all an expression of. Amida returns all of us to that oneness where our life can be truly enjoyed and appreciated. So may all of us awaken to the true joy of the Nembutsu and live every moment of every day with this warmth, joy, awareness, and gratitude. So please join me in Gassho as we recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, thank you very much once again for being part of our online Kahului Hongwanji Sunday service, and please join us again next week. If you keep watching after these closing words, you'll see that there's a few announcements in print that you can read, and also always check our website. We have some more information on there, and also our newsletter, which should be coming to you soon. Okay, so thank you very much for listening today, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo.